everybody. I've got a great recipe for you today. It's in Rachael Ray's first cookbook called Cooking Round the Clock, Rachael Ray 30-Minute Meals. And it's called 30-Minute Shepherd's Pie. It's really, really good, but it does kind of have a lot of steps. Here's the recipe right here. And it's on page 94. I like Rachael Ray's cookbooks. They're pretty good, but there's a lot of chopping involved. So when she says 30 minutes, it's maybe more like 40 minutes because it takes about 10 minutes to do all the chopping that she wants you to do. So for our shepherd's pie, I started with about 1 3/4 pound of ground beef, and I am browning that. So that's in there, and I've already started that. And while that's cooking, I'm going to add in, I got these little petite carrots because it's easy to just chop them up, and I did about 10 to 15 of these little ones and chopped them up. And then I did about a half of a big onion or a whole small onion you could do. And I'm going to put that in, and we'll mix that up. There we go. So mix that in there so that the, especially so that the carrots kind of mush down a little bit, because right now they're kind of hard. So we'll let that cook with the meat. All right, I had my potatoes. We're going to have potatoes on the top of this. I'm going to get that out of the way. We're going to have potatoes on the top of it and at the end. But first I'm going to show you the sauce I make to put in with this that's really good. So first what I start with is 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour, and I start melting that, and then I'll whisk this in. Here we go. Move this out of the way. Sorry, my kitchen is a mess today. So we'll put that in over there. So that's going to start to melt. Can you see that, Amelia?
Yeah, I got it.
Cool. Alright. There we go. And then I'm going to put the flour in, and it gets kind of a thick, slightly brown consistency in here after I put this in. So we'll put that in, and that's going to melt with the butter. And while that is cooking away, I'll mix this up a little bit. So this recipe is really nice because it has everything that you need. It has the protein in the beef. It has the veggies because we're going to have peas in here, carrots and onions. It has the carbs because we're going to put mashed potatoes on top. And then the mashed potatoes have butter and a little bit of milk in it, so there's your dairy. So it's got everything. And that's why the Irish people like shepherd's pie, is because when times were bad and they wanted to feed their family, they could get all the food groups in there by making their shepherd's pie. Now I have made it with lamb as well, and that's really good too. So you can make it with lamb and be like real Irish people and make it with lamb. The only thing is with the lamb, it's a lot more expensive than beef, and it has more fat that's in it, but whatever, it does have a nice flavor. So this is a really good recipe, and all my kids, although Maddie thinks it's okay, I think, but the other two really, really like it. All right, so if you can look in there, you can kind of see that brownish consistency with the butter and the flour mixed together. So then I'm going to go over here, and it says, I'm going to whisk in the broth. So we're going to have 1 cup of your beef broth, and I get, it's 99% fat-free broth, so I'm going to put that in. And I'm going to put in my Worcestershire sauce, which is 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. So I'm going to have that. And this, and I'm going to put that in. Ooh, there we go. And then we'll mix that in so it gets to be like a gravy consistency. So we'll start mixing that up. So those little lumpy flour butter lumps need to kind of smooth out so it's nice and smooth and looks like a nice pretty gravy. And this is cooking nicely. You can hear it bubble. And the meat is browning. There we go. So I'm of Irish descent. My grandmother's name was Agnes Ida O'Connor, but my dad's been on Ancestry.com, and it looks like we're only, I think, a little bit Irish. and were a lot of German. He found out a little bit of English, and then a Dutch person came over, I think, and landed in New York, but kind of not that long ago. So it's kind of interesting that we're Van Buskirk, but really we go back mainly to England. But all along, I think we thought we were more Irish than we are. And I'm surprised we didn't have this, like why we didn't make this since supposedly we're all Irish. Although my mom's 100% German, so that's probably why. Because she did all the cooking growing up.
Dad's probably more Irish.
Who? My dad?
No, my dad.
Your dad.
Because
Yes.
he's Donnelly.
Yeah, Rourke Donnelly. Very, very Irish. So here we go. We're going to mix this up again. And as you can see, the little flour lumps are starting to smooth out. So that's really nice.
Wait, what's this part again? Oh, it's a mix with the meat. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to mix that in. Or it's like a gravy. We're going to mix that in. So this is looking really nice.
It's really pretty, Mom.
Isn't it pretty? And then when we put in the peas, it'll be another color in there, which is really nice.
She likes her colors.
I like my colors. So then we come back over here. Let me see when we put our peas. I have frozen peas here. All right, so after we add the gravy into this mixture, we're going to throw the frozen peas in. And it says to only put a half a cup of the peas in. But since we're 5 people, I'm going to put in a cup, and I might even put in a little bit more because that's just not enough for 5 people, and we need our greens. So we'll see what it looks like. All right, so here we go. Oh, it's looking good. All the red part and the meat is gone.
Yeah.
So that looks really great.
Yes.
And oh, our gravy's really bubbling away. I think that is ready to put in, so I'm going to turn that off. Mix that up a little more. Sorry, BB. And I'm going to mix that in. It's a really nice consistency.
Some with flour.
That's all right. It'll mix in.
Yeah.
Also, my mom is
All
not.
right. So we'll mix that.
It's like a chicken pot pie, but without the pie part.
Yeah, and it sort of reminds me a little bit of stew beef because it has all the same ingredients except for not chunky beef, just ground beef, and then instead of dumplings, which I'll make my beef stew for you
Yeah.
sometimes because I make really good dumplings.
She does.
It's Donnelly beef stew though. It's from the Donnelly side of the family. All right, so that's all mixed in, which looks great. And now I'm going to grab my peas. And I'm going to throw that in and see what it looks like and see if I want to add some more peas because that's probably not going to be enough for 5 people.
Yeah, actually, it looks pretty
What do you
good.
think, Amelia?
I think
Does that
that's
look
good.
all right?
Yeah.
Good enough? You're not a pea person. That's why you're saying that.
No, I like peas.
You like
Maddie's the person that hates peas.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you think?
I mean, you can put more if you want.
That's all right. I think that's good. Good enough. So, yeah, it's nice and pretty, right? All right. So let me just cook that for another minute or 2 to let the peas kind of defrost a little bit. I'll go back over here and see if I've missed everything. Now this recipe, if you want, because Rachel Ray likes to be fancy, I guess, with her mashed potatoes, she likes to put like egg yolk, sour cream, and also a half a cup of cream in there to make her mashed potatoes. But it's like super fattening. This already, regular mashed potatoes has a lot of calories in it or a lot of fat in it. But we don't really need to put all that in there. Plus, it takes a lot of time to do all that extra work. So I just do my regular potatoes, which I already did ahead of time, so you didn't have to see me make my mashed potatoes. But I just do about, let me see how many pounds I did. I did about
I'm pretty sure
2 pounds of potatoes, and then I put in about 4 tablespoons of butter, and then you can put in as much milk as you want to make it as smooth or lumpy as you want. So ta-da! This is all ready to go in our big pan, so I'm going to take that over. First I need to find a hot pad. There we go. And then I've got my pan to put it in, my Pyrex big pan. So I'm going to bring this over. This pan is hard to deal with.
Guess you could say you're pretty pandy.
Yeah. Here we go. We're going to throw this in.
They don't like my puns.
No. but that's okay. We still love
My
you.
puns are great. You guys
We
are
still love
biased.
you though. All right, so that's in there. Okay, watch out. I'm gonna put that over here. So then what I do is I smooth it all out so it's nice and smooth. There we go. And then this is the best part. You take the potatoes and then you plop them in there. That is so fun.
I have not won a single.
It's the little things in life, Amelia. Plopping in mashed potatoes in your shepherd's pie. Isn't that awesome?
When life gives you shepherd's pie, you put on mashed potatoes.
Okay. Ex-Nick. Amelia. All right, look at how good that looks though, right?
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry, did I get you? Did I get you with the potatoes?
Nope.
Okay, good.
I am untouched by the potatoes.
Okay, good. All right, so we'll put some more over here. Make a nice pretty layer. It almost looks like you're frosting a cake, right?
Yeah, but I said it's a pie.
Yeah, it's a pie.
It's a dinner pie.
It's a dinner pie. All right, we're getting there. Cover it all
Are you
up.
gonna put the parsley on top?
At the very end you can. Do you like parsley or no?
I don't mind it.
Dad doesn't like it. I just found that out after knowing him for 30 years. I found out he's not a
A
parsley guy.
person.
But that's okay.
I like parsley person.
I'm a parsley person too.
Parsley person.
And okay, so now what do I do? Rourke and I like this, but the kids don't. Do you like paprika?
I don't mind paprika.
Oh, she doesn't mind. Okay, but we're gonna sprinkle paprika on top because it gives it a little extra kick of flavor and it makes it pretty. Look how pretty that is. But two of my kids don't like that. They guess they don't like the taste of paprika. So I'll only put it on half of mine, but you can put it on all of yours if you want or not. All right, so then what I do is I take it and I put it in the oven under high for the broiler, and I move my rack up to the highest level, and my broiler's already on. So what I'm gonna do is stick this under here, and I'm gonna have it cook in there for about 3 or 4 minutes till it gets a nice layer of brown on the top, and then I'm gonna take it out and it'll be ready to serve. What I like to do is I put parsley. I cut up Italian parsley. Italian parsley is the flat parsley and it tastes better, has a nicer texture, and it's just flat, so it's really nice. So get the Italian parsley, chop that up, and when you serve it, if you like parsley, you can sprinkle the top with parsley. That adds an extra color and makes it pretty and tastes good too. So you can choose to do the parsley or not, but so that's it. So I won't make you wait until the end. I'll see if I can get a picture of it and put it on the thumbnail so you can see what the end product looks like. But that's it. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's dinner, and I hope you try my shepherd's pie. Thank you so much. Have a good night.